Hi guys, I've been working on a new project called Prometora, and it's basically a lovable for marketplaces. So you can basically build a marketplace super quickly by just prompting everything, right? So in this video, I'll show you how it works and how fast you can build your marketplace. And by the way, at the moment, I'm accepting the first couple of users. So if you find this interesting, then please just write me here in the comments or send me an email and I'll get you going with your marketplace quickly. So I hope you enjoyed. Let's do it. Okay guys, so in this video we are going to be making a marketplace a little bit like robo.com, which is actually a big marketplace in the US for cat and dog owners, as you can see here. We're only going to be focusing though on dog owners because I believe that some dog owners sometimes have the problem with actually finding the time to take their dogs for a walk, because I'm not a dog owner myself, but I have some friends that take their dogs for walks, I think 3 times a day, right? So that is a lot of time you have to dedicate to your dog. And you know, like sometimes maybe you have to work a little bit longer or something like that. So it would be nice to sometimes actually have the possibility at least to find someone who could help you out, right, with taking your dog for a walk. So basically the marketplace is going to be having on the supply side, it's actually people who offer their help to help out dog owners with going for a walk with their dogs. And on the buyer side, it's actually going to be the dog owners. So that is very interesting. So let's do it, right? So I'm here in Prometora. And you can see here that it's very simple, right? I just click here and now I can start building my marketplace. And eventually, by the way, you will also be able to build an e-com store here. So I'm just going to be choosing marketplace here, and then we are going to be prompting the marketplace. So we just click next here, and now I have to add the marketplace name. Let's just call this marketplace dogs like this, because it looks kind of cool, right? And down here, let's just write what we want this marketplace actually to be about. So it's a marketplace for helping out dog owners with taking their dogs for a walk, because that can be time consuming sometimes. Okay, cool. Then we click next. We are going to be using Stripe for payments, actually Stripe Connect, so I'm gonna choose that one here. And for the design, we are just gonna be choosing the minimal and clean here, and then we click on the generate store, right? So what it does here is that it actually makes 3 API calls, one for the front page, one for the about, and one for the contact page. And for all these system pages, those ones you don't want to be prompting, because those are very important to have on any marketplace. And I'm going to show you that later. But of course, like the checkout page, the cart page, the product detail page, and the seller dashboard, that is not these kind of pages that you would want to be prompting, right? So while we're waiting for the response to come back here for the about and the contact page and the front page, let's just make some small adjustments here, right? So you can see like this up here doesn't look good, right? So let's just click here, remove the tagline from there, right? So that already looks better, right? But we also want some navigations here up here for the header, right? So, no, sorry, for the navigation up here, right? So let's just auto-generate those ones. So we have at least the listings page, which is where you see all the listings, about page, contact page, and let's try and save here. And you can see now we have the front page, all listings page, about, and contact. That's already better, right? For the branding, I don't have a logo now, right? But of course, we could upload a logo here, and we could also upload the favicon here. And for the footer, let's also just add a link here to the about. So let's add the about link there, right? Social media, of course, that is also always very smart to add, but I don't have social media accounts now for this new marketplace, so I'm not gonna add them right now. So I'm just gonna save the changes here. So let's just check here now, right? So you can see here on the about now it has actually come back with a suggestion for how the about page could look like. Similar with the contact page and for the front page. Okay, cool. So this one is a little bit boring, of course, but you could then change it to some other image out here, of course, right? But let's just keep it for now, right? So what does it say? Your dog deserves more walks. That's cool. That's cool. That's really cool, right? And if I click on the preview here, we can already see what it looks like. I'm not a big fan of the font family here, but we can change that. And you can see up here, I can then navigate to the different pages already, right? So, and if I look on how it looks on mobile, for instance, you can see here that it is already optimized as well for mobile. And let's go to tablet view. Also pretty damn good, I would say, right? So that took us what, 1-2 minutes to make this first version here, right? That is pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's actually just change first the font family, because I don't like the font family. Let's go to the settings area here. Let's go to theme, and down here I want to have the Roboto font family. So let's just choose that one. It auto saved it, and we go back again here to the edit page area. And for now I just close that one, and let's just take a look again now. That is better, I would say, right? I like this font much better than the Inter one. So let's keep this one for now, right? Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let's make some other changes, right? So here on the front page, let's add an FAQ maybe, because it would be nice to probably have an FAQ that is quite normal to maybe have down here in the bottom. So let's actually prompt that one, right? So if I do like this, I open the chat interface, you could call it, the prompting area, where you can basically do anything from here, right? So let me write, please add an FAQ about dog walking, about my dog walking service marketplace. Cool. And let's just get that done, right? So that again does also take a little bit of time, so you do have to wait for that one, right? So in the meantime, of course, again, right, so everything is changeable here. So if I want to change this text, I can just click it and change it. I can also change the colors. Same I can do with all the buttons and everything else, right? So now you can see out here that I received it back. So now the FAQ is down here. So that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? So just saying, right? So frequently asked questions about our dog walking service. Of course, like you will then have to change this, because this might not be perfect, right? So what areas do you serve? How do you ensure your safety? Okay, yeah, cool. How are walks scheduled and tracked? Okay, I would say it's pretty good. Like so, and then again, right? So then you can easily change it, right? So if I want to change, let me change the. I just want frequently asked questions. I just want it like that, right? And I also want this to be in color. Let's just do red, right? So how easy was that to change, right? That was very, very fast, right? Okay, cool. Then you can also see that there are these drag zones, right? So drag and drop components can also be added here, because honestly, sometimes that can be even easier than doing what I just did here, right? So of course, it's awesome to prompt a component like this, but maybe I just want a different hero up here, right? So let's try and add a different hero. So you can see this button over here. That is the components library right now, right? So I'm just gonna click on that one, and then I can see that there are right now 2 different types of heroes I can then drag and drop. So there's a centered hero and a split hero here as well. So let me just drag this one over here and drop it, and you can then see that I get a hero added here. So then I could then adjust the H1 here to, I don't know, dogs needs walking. I don't know, something like that, right? That's probably not that good, but I think you get the point, right? So, and then you could change the color as well and so on, right? But actually right now, I would say this one down here was actually much better. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this one again. So that, because I actually prefer this one. And by the way, I forgot to say that, do you see this down here? So that was actually the notification for when we added the FAQ. So you can revert it, you can review it, and you can keep the changes. We did like the FAQ, right? So we're just gonna keep it, right? But if you did not like it, you can go just click over here and then it will be removed. So let's keep it. Cool. Nice. Okay, cool. So that is pretty good. And by the way, up here, you can then also click and see what it looks like on tablet and on desktop and on mobile. But an even better way to do that is actually what I prefer is to click on the preview button over here, right? Because that just gives you like the actual way it looks on the different devices, right? So again, the FAQ also looks good on mobile, I would say. So that is good. Let's look at the burger. It also looks good here, right? So I can click on the different ones here and it then takes me there and so on. So right now we are in demo mode. That is why the all listings page looks like this, because right now we don't have any listings, right? But if I then close this one, I go back here to this area here, you can see that there's this demo mode button here. If I untoggle that one and now click on the preview button again, and I go to the all listings page right here, you can see this is what it looks like right now. And this can also be adjusted. I'm going to show you that in a second. But right now, of course, there are no listings, there are no products, there are no services, no one offering their service to actually take dogs for walks. So of course, nothing is shown here. So let me close that one again. And actually, I'm just going to go in demo mode again. Cool. So I think you get how it works here, right? So it's super fast. Again, all these system pages out here, so these ones are some that are kind of not as adjustable because you don't want them to be as adjustable, because these ones are super important for any marketplace, like a checkout, a cart, product detail page, seller dashboard, and so on, right? So those ones are adjustable from in here, right? So if you go back to the settings area here, and then you can see up here that all of these ones are adjustable from here, right? So if I click here on the listing form, for instance, okay, so we can then see what it looks like here. So this is the create listing page, basically, right? Okay, cool. So everything, this is just, again, in demo mode, in preview mode, but let's try and then make one, right? So what do we want to call it first of all, right? So listing is actually probably a fine name for this kind of listing, or like it could be, so that's the ones making a listing, I don't know, let's just call it listing for now, right? It could maybe also be a dog walker, because basically it is people that are gonna be making their listings, right? So dog walker person, we could also call it like that. If I had more than one listing type, I could then add more if I wanted to. So just like do like this, and then call this one, I don't know, let's just say we had another type of dog walker, I don't know, let's just say a robot or whatever, right? I could easily do that, and then we would have two listing types. We don't have that right now because this is not going to work, so I'm just going to be deleting that one. I just wanted to show that this is also possible. Okay, cool. So for this listing type, what do we want to have down here? We are for sure not going to have SKUs, stock quantities, no. Tags, we probably don't need that. Category, probably not. Also compared price, let's remove that as well. We need title of the person, maybe that is even going to be the name, like Peter. We need a description, important, right? So the person has to describe themselves, who they are, why they are good at walking dogs, I don't know. And a price. So, and right now we're just going to be keeping it at for US dollars here, right? And images, I would say we need at least, let's do one image here, right? Okay, cool. And maximum 10 images. Cool. We're going to be saving the changes here, and we can also preview it. Cool. So title, description, price, images, location, that is good, and availability. Cool. That is awesome. Now, so that was also pretty easy, wasn't it? Let's then go to the all listings page. So the all listings page is this one. That is the one that is also there on all marketplaces. So, you know, where you can see all the listings, you can filter and so on, right? And of course, this, again, for these images would be persons then, right? So what do we want to show on this one, right? We want the image, I guess, right? So like if I untoggle this one and then go to the preview, you can see now there's no image, but An image is always super nice. We want to have the price, the title, compare at price, we don't want that. Seller name, that is probably cool actually. Category, we don't need that. And add to cart button, yes, let's have that, right? And enable search, enable filters, not for category, branch, like that. Okay, cool. Nice, cool. Because price is always important, right? Cool. Cool, so that was the all listings page. Then let's go to the product detail page. So this one, right? So the product detail page is also this one. That is also always there on any marketplace, right? Cool. So right now you can see that there is a zoom on hover here, and I can also go in a gallery view like that, right? That is cool, right? So that is that cool? That is, maybe that is actually not needed here because the images are actually going to be of the people, right? So we can untoggle that one, I would say, right? So you don't need to zoom in on a person. That's more if you're selling a product, I would say, right? Okay, so, but we need to have an availability counter, yes, because the dog owners should easily be able to see when the ones offering the service is available, right? And we should also have the location and map. And probably not the exact location because lots of people don't want to give their exact address out, so we're just going to be having the approximate location, right? So that is showing on a map with a 300 meter radius, right? You could also go for city area, which is then a 5 to 15k radius, but I think in this example here, it's fine to go for the approximate location. So let's just have a look at what that looks like. So that looks like this. If this was Los Angeles, you can see it's not the exact location that is showing, it's like an approximate one. And you can see down here that we have then the book your dates. So if I wanted to book him then, I could do like that and then book like that, right? Okay, cool. Action buttons, yes, that is good. Add to cart, all of this. So I'm not gonna be, this one we don't need, and there's no return here, right? So let's just have a look again. Cool. Okay, so this is already pretty good, I would say, right? So that is it. And then I can also change the theme, of course, here. We already did that actually for the font family down here. System pages, I can see exactly what they look like here. Custom domain, we come back to this in just a second. And the overview is here. I can see what my marketplace looks like here. But right now I'm still on the Prometora domain, right? Maybe you cannot see that actually because you don't see the URL, but I'm on prometora.com/ and then the ID for the user, right? So you want to use, of course, your own domain at some point, but this is a pretty good start. And by the way, for the buttons here, they are also changeable, right? Of course, everything is changeable. So if I go here into the edit area, and if I want to change this one, first of all, if I click here, you can see that this one takes me to sign up, which is pretty good actually, right? So that's probably what I want to, but I could change it here to take this to something else, right? To, I don't know, maybe I placed it somewhere else, right? Similar here, right? Become, yeah, so this one, right? Become a walker. Actually, I'm gonna actually change that to become seller. I believe that is the one, otherwise I'll change it later. Become seller. So here I can see exactly what I want to have shown on the become seller page, right? Cool. So let's just go back to the settings area and then let's fix the custom domain. So of course, now I'm just gonna be making this marketplace very quickly, but I think you get the point, right? So of course you will need a little bit of more time to actually set everything up to make it look nicer than it is now, but just for the sake of this example, I want to show you exactly how fast it is. And by the way, one thing we forgot is the Stripe Connect. So here I will then add my keys, right? So the keys and the platform fee that I want to take on each transaction, right? Because I want you as a marketplace owner to earn money, a lot of money. So of course, if you believe that you can put in take 20% as a commission on each transaction, you just add that here. If maybe not, you just add 5%. So again, right, so Upwork, they charge around 20%, I believe. At least they used to. Airbnb, they are around 15%. And if you have a product marketplace, it's where you're selling products, it's usually like maybe around 5-8% or whatever, right? So for this kind of service, let's do, I don't know, 15%, right? I'm not going to add the keys right now, but I think you get the point here, right? Cool. So let me go back to the dashboard here and then to the edit pages. No, sorry, not to the edit pages, to the settings area, right? Because I want to show you then the custom domain area, right? Okay, cool. So let's add the custom domain. And actually, I already own this domain, so I'm just going to be adding this one. And when I do that, then I have it registered on one.com. You can see the whole way you do it down here. So it's required that you make a Cloudflare account to set up the SSL certificates there, and it is a super fast service and it is free. So you can see all the things you have to do here, and it basically takes 1 to 5 minutes, right? So you can set up an account like this super fast. So, but I have my domain here on one.com. So what I then do is that I go into the name servers, and then I basically change the custom name servers to my Cloudflare name servers, which is everything is explained on how to do it here, right? So now I'm going to add this one, and you can see that it has then added the DNS records below. That's because I already did that, as I just told you here. But on Cloudflare, it basically tells you here what you have to do. So these ones, those are the name servers that I added. This one here, I added that one there on one.com, and this one I added as well down here. So that is super simple, and after that you're basically using Cloudflare again, which is free, right? And if I then go here and then click on the verify DNS, let's see what happens then, right? So you can see that it successfully verified the domain, and it has then been added. The domain is now active, so that is awesome to see, right? And if I go here to Cloudflare and then just refresh, let's see what happens here. You can see that it is here, right? So that is awesome. The information is here, the A worker, and also this one, right? What you also want to do then is to go to the SSL certificates here, and all of this is also basically explained down here. And you want to then go to Edge certificates and enable down here, always use HTTPS, and just enable that one, because then it will always show the secured version of the page. Cool. So let's then have a look, right? So if I go here to settings, and if I go to custom domains, we should be able to see our marketplace here, right? So let's see if that is actually true. And it is, right? So I just opened the domain here in another tab. I am on this domain that I bought, which is called As My Head in a Jar. It doesn't make any sense, but this is just for demo purposes, right? You can see that right now we already have the marketplace, the first version, of course, of this marketplace live here. That was super fast, right? So if I click on the About, you can see that it has this one. If I click on Contact, it's all there. We didn't change anything, right? And it's all optimized for mobile as well, as you can see here, right? So right now, actually, if I click on the All Listing page, I'm pretty sure it's going to be showing me the demo version right now, because we are still in the demo environment. Well, not in the demo environment, but remember that toggle we had for demo, that one was actually toggled for on for demo, right? So we should untoggle that one. So if I go back to here, I go to the dashboard, I go in here to edit pages. Let me go down, no, sorry, like over here in the sidebar. If I untoggle that one, and then I go back to our live environment here, I go to the front page, and let me just do a refresh. And if I then click on all listings, there we go. So now it's actually the version, the correct version here, right? So cool. Then of course, you would want a link up here to the sign up, I guess, right? So we can just do that, right? Because like now we have like the basics here, but you always want, like you need to then start getting people to sign up, right? So actually for the sign up, as you can see here, we have this become seller page, right? So if I open it here, you can see that it looks like this, and then the sign up is down here, and it's located under become seller. So actually what I just want to do is then go here, and instead of this one, let's add become seller, and then let's save the changes, and we are not in demo environment. Okay, cool. So then I go to our actual live site here. Let me just do a refresh here. So if I go to the front page, and then I go on the sign up, the front page, 2 seconds, then I go to the sign up. So now we are on the become seller page. So I'll just add my email, so I'll start by adding my name here. And then you can see that I am signed up. Great. So now I'm on the seller dashboard, as you can see here, right? So of course I haven't done any listings yet. I also haven't connected my Stripe account. So of course you click here and do that. Then you're directed to Stripe Connect, where you do the onboarding, to go through the whole KYC area and so on, right? Also, I haven't made any revenue. I also have no pending payouts, right? So I then, of course, create a new listing, right? I like taking dogs for walks. Boom. $10. That's my price category. Oh, we should remove that one, but let's just write a category. And then we select an actual image of me because I have this one. That makes more sense, right? Location again, Oslo Opera House. And I'm available these dates, so let's add those. And now we're going to be publishing immediately, actually. So let me just create that one, and it was created. Cool. So now if I go to the all listings page, this one, you can see that I'm here and I'm costing $10. So I can go with your dogs for $10, and that should of course probably be an hour. And of course, there are more things you would be doing. Of course, you would be making a little bit nicer looking here. But this is just for explaining how easy you can actually get going here, right? How fast you can build your first marketplace and prompt your way to most of it, and then do some small adjustments here and there. Of course, also you need to then add your actual Stripe Connect information, so the keys there, and then everything is basically set up even on your custom domain. Awesome guys, and that is it for this one. So I hope that you liked it, and if you'd like to test it out, then I'm accepting the first couple of users. So just either write me here on YouTube or on my email, and then we'll get you going. Also, of course, you can still check out speedbuildmarketplace.com if you are a developer. That might be a better route. There's also a course there on how to become an AI marketplace developer. So if that is a better route for you, then please also go and check that out. That's it guys. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye. Ciao.